It began with the story of one woman, a story of confusion, courage, and transformation. When menopause came, she had no guidance, no roadmap, and no one to explain what was happening to her body. What started as mild hot flashes soon became sleepless nights and overwhelming panic attacks. Out of that silent struggle, a powerful purpose was born to create a safe haven where women could learn, share, and find sisterhood through every stage of menopause. That purpose became Meno Haven. In this exclusive interview, Mrs. Adeyinka Aderoju, founder of Meno Haven, opens up about the challenges, growth, and impact of building a community that empowers women to embrace this new chapter of life with strength and grace. Can you tell us what has been the challenges you've experienced in setting up this platform, Meno Haven?
Yeah, one of the things that some women are still a bit reluctant, basically to come out and talk about, this journey, this situation that they find themselves. I was on radio station interview once, and even the presenter was saying, "Wow, you're really brave." That most women don't like to talk, because there are two things that happen when you talk about menopause. One, people now know your age. Then two, they're embarrassed because of some of the symptoms that they go through. So for that reason, you basically have to. It's like sometimes with some women, it's like pulling tooth to get them to join the platform. So that's one of the challenges. I think really that's mainly the challenge, because once people come on board, because what we try to do, for example, on the platform, monthly we have a webinar where we bring in an expert, because that's the other thing that I've tried to do. We bring in experts into the community that can answer specific questions, and these experts also, the reason I bring them into the community is so that they can teach us what can be done, to help us alleviate some of the symptoms. For example, exercise is a key thing with menopause. If you exercise, it's unlikely that you would have the hot flashes. Then nutrition is important. So we brought in a nutritionist, an expert who knows nutrition, a clinical nutritionist, who knows how your body reacts to different types of food. There are different types of nutrients and things like that. We brought in a physical fitness expert, rather, who took us through the kind of exercises. Because again, don't forget, as we grow older, we're not as nimble. Younger people tend to do more strenuous exercises and things. So the fitness expert took us through the kind of exercises that matches that stage of life. We need to do more strength exercises and things like that. We brought in a counselor, who came to talk to us about the relationship part of things, the emotional part of things. So basically that's it. But the thing is, what I've found really encouraging, I told you I was on a radio station interview. So while I was doing the interview, at the end of the interview, it was a guy, funny enough, that interviewed me. He now said, that people should call in with questions and all. And people came. Before I left the station, my phone was buzzing. And the one that really hit me, while I was on my way home in the car, a lady called me and said, "Hello, ma. My husband listened to you on the radio station and said I must join your group." I didn't even, it was so surprising, because that means men know that women are going through this. Do you understand? Even though they might not know what it is and the symptoms, but there are men that care about their wives enough to say, look, if these people are educating women, please go there, join them, let them tell you. Because I have a friend, and this thing is not even just in Nigeria. I have friends in the UK, in the US, who have joined the community, Canada, all of it. And I remember my friend was like, one of my friends in the US, she said, she's married to an American. She said at some point, her husband was like, "Man, I don't know about what's going on with you." Started sleeping in the living room every now and then because she has the night sweat, she has insomnia, there's something that happens to some people's legs. You can, 1 minute she's holding her leg up, the other minute she's stretching it out, so she's having all kinds of things on the bed. And the man was like, let me just find myself. And it also explains it. You find women saying at some point their husbands move out of the room. They go to another room in the house because they just can't deal with it. And then again, the other thing is that some of the symptoms are so personal. There's the vaginal dryness, the not wanting to have sex, all these kinds of things, that women go. And that's why, again, like I said, some people feel it's shameful. The other thing is that they don't want to talk about it because that's where side chicks come in, because if you can't, do you understand? So these are some of the things, and that's why we're in the community to say, look, this is what you can do. Even the vaginal dryness, this is what you can do, to alleviate it, and just to live your full life, and not let the symptoms weigh you down. Women go into depression. I'm telling you, I met a lady, younger lady, she was like, her mother was in depression. All of them in their house were wondering what's wrong with mommy. She didn't know anyone to talk to.
Wow, this is really eye-opening. So is there any point in the journey where all of these symptoms subside? Are there any points where you say, okay, after maybe 5 years or 2 years, it's expected to, these symptoms are expected to go down?
If you don't do the right things, and that was what I was saying about the webinar, it doesn't go down like that. I'm telling you, you just have to, do the right things just to manage it. And then it's not as severe anymore. Once you start exercising, once you're eating right, once you understand the emotions, when you can just go away and say, look, let me go away and have my own time and come back. I remember the lady who is I want to call her a shrink, but she's not a psychiatrist like that, but she does talk on emotions and relationships and things like that. She said, look, you have to get to the point where you say to your family, no, it's enough, let me just have this time, and so that's it. You just have to be able to cope with it while you go along. And like I said, there are things that you can do to make it easier, but every woman goes through it, to be honest. So sometimes I even wonder. And the interesting thing is that nowadays, some women are even going into menopause earlier.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, like a woman in her 30s, what can she do to prepare herself ahead of menopause?
So that's what I'm even saying to myself, but I have to have a target because I'm a marketing person. My main job is marketing research. So I understand that you must have a target. And so that's my target. But then I know that there are people who will be younger or older who would need this information. But I feel that for now, the people that are going through it are the ones that need the most help right now, But interestingly, I remember there was the pharmacist that did our first webinar talking about don't let people just give you medication and be using it when it's not about medication, And she was saying, for example, for her, she had fibroids. So once she had she finished having her children, maybe 3 or 4 she had by the age of 35 or so. And that once she had them, she just had a womb removed. She had a hysterectomy. And that threw her straight into menopause. So when you do those kinds of things, you become menopausal immediately. So it's not about age. And then again, of course, these days we do all kinds of things to our bodies.
Does birth control and other forms of contraception, do they also play a role in how quickly women also have menopause?
Well, I can't say categorically that I know that, but I know that when you've had procedures, surgeries, and some of these things would do that. I don't know about contraceptives. I guess maybe Cherise will speak to that.
Can you just speak to someone, a woman watching, who has not joined the Meno Haven community, who is probably battling with so many symptoms that you've mentioned? What is one word you say to her?
Join Meno Haven. Come and, it's a sisterhood. Join us. We have a lot of fun. And now we're so knowledgeable, well informed, and we can inform other women. Thank you.
What has also been the highlights for you ever since Meno Haven started, the whole femtech product?
Right. So the highlights, again, one of them was that man telling his wife to call me and join the group. That was a real high for me. It gave me, because every now and then people ask me, what about the men? They need to know these things, because remember the story I just said about the bedroom and how some men get up and say, look, I can't deal with this. So that's something that I'm happy about, that I'm able to teach other women. Another highlights basically is just the fact that I'm touching lives. The platform is touching lives, and people are being educated, and the women are now talking with each other. So that's a major breakthrough. So on the tech level, we will have an app that you can download on your device, where you can go into and get information about your specific symptom.
What's the name of the app?
It's Meno Haven. It's just Meno Haven. You just download it. So that's it. That's the name of the app. And then, the other thing that we plan to do is on the app and on our website, we're going to have a marketplace. The marketplace, what it does is it helps with some of the suggestions that some of our experts have made in terms of the kind of vitamins or some of these herbal things that you can take will be available. Yes, we also spoke to a skincare expert, because that's another symptom. It's not even just the vaginal dryness. You actually start feeling dryness on your skin, and there's certain skincare products that you can use for that. Interestingly, I didn't say this when you asked me. It just occurred to me now. So there's if I mention her name, you know her, a celebrity that I wanted to actually use as the face of the brand initially. I was talking to her, and she was like, some women actually do hormonal surgery, what they call it. There's a hormonal surgery type of thing, replacement, hormone replacement that they do. It's like a surgery. So because she couldn't deal with it, that because once she's on set, they say, oh yeah, go, and then before she knows it, her face is sweating and the makeup is running, and then she would have to say stop. They will go back into the place. They will shake. So she said she couldn't just deal with all of that, so she just did that hormone replacement, because that then takes away. So that's one thing. It wouldn't come back. It would, for a while. I don't know how frequently she has to do it, but you know how these things are. It's just like saying you're doing Botox. At some point, your face will sag a bit again, then you have to go and improve it, So, but some people do that. So that was a major learning for me as well, the hormone replacement thing.
Thank you so much, Ma. It's been amazing having this conversation with you.